It's the third year the young master has been pretending to be poor to be with me. I'm over it. He posted a task in our circle. Whoever can lure Lin Shu away and give me some peace gets a 5 million reward. All my friends said it was way too difficult. Everyone knows Lin Shu is madly in love with you. Asking her to leave you would be like asking for her life. He looked deeply troubled. That's true, but what can I do? My family is pushing me to get married. I can't exactly marry a butcher's daughter, can I? Finally, he tagged someone, young Master Jean, why don't you give it a shot? The man replied with a nonchalant sure. I was pacing around in a frantic state. Just give me the money directly. Been waiting 3 years just for this breakup payout. When I saw Zhou Hu say he was tired of it, I got so excited, burst out laughing. 3 years have passed. The young master has finally grown tired of playing the poor man in this charade of a relationship. My days of toiling away and pretending to be lovesick are finally coming to an end. What's next? A hefty severance package to make me disappear for good. As the crown prince of the Beijing elite, you can't be stingy when you make a move. At least 5 million to start. When the time comes, I'm going to order 20 models and feel their abs one by one. Hehe. Seeing the chat history that followed, my smile instantly vanished. Wait, why is there a middleman now? Don't bother sending anyone to cozy up to me. Just give me the money. Directly, just show me the money, and I'll be out of here faster than anyone. It's a pity I played the lovesick fool too convincingly these 3 years. The crown prince actually believed it, he said in the group chat to his close buddy Jin Xiao. It's fine even if I fail. If it really comes to it, I can always fake my death and escape, so I won't get a single cent then no. Hehe too, just put my phone back in place. Zhou Hu came out after taking a shower. The cramped apartment we're renting is only 50 square meters. He even had to duck his head when coming out of the bathroom, or he'd bump it. This dump is where the crown prince stubbornly shared a roof with me for 3 whole years. I have to say, he's got quite a bit of patience. After drying his hair, Zhou Hu came to bed and kissed me, just like every other day. His kiss grew passionate, his hand slipping beneath my nightgown to caress my waist, but I grabbed his hand and stopped him, saying, "Not today." Panting, he asked, "What's wrong?" What's wrong? Not in the mood. I just lost a surefire 5 million. I'm in no mood to sleep with you. I brushed him off with a lame excuse. It's that time of the month. He paused, his interest instantly gone, and rolled away from me. Once things settled down below, his brain seemed to come back online, and he realized, I'm pretty sure it's not today. Why wouldn't it be? Today was supposed to be the day I got a huge severance payout and finally got my freedom. You genius. You ruined it all. I turned away from him, my back to his face, and started babbling nonsense. My period is irregular, Zhou Hu. I closed my eyes in frustration. Not only that, I'm so furious I feel like my period's flowing backward. 3. I picked up Zhou Hu 3 years ago. It was early morning, and as I made my way to my pork stall, still half asleep, I stumbled right over him. He was lying unconscious right in front of my stall. It jolted me wide awake. Did the half side of pork I just butchered fall on the floor? Looking closer, I breathed a sigh of relief. It wasn't the pig, it was a person. That's good. I nudged the person out again. Get lost. Don't mess with my business. Zhou Hu slowly regained consciousness after I kicked him a few times, his eyes glistening as he looked at me, like a drenched puppy. I'm so hungry. Could you spare me some food? I don't have any money, but I can work for you. I fell silent, looking at his clothes, caked in mud but easily costing over 1,000 each. You call this being broke? Then what do you call this? 990, free shipping. I'm wearing a rag for I took in that damn rich guy, because he's hot. Haven't touched a man's little hand in ages since I started slaughtering pigs, spending every day jerking off big pig trotters. Of course, being blinded by lust was only part of the reason. The main thing is, one day I overheard him making a secret phone call. I've successfully gotten my foot in the door. Don't worry, I'm sure she has no idea who I really am. I've told her I have amnesia and can't remember a thing. I even took off my watch and earrings, and swapped my clothes for a cheap set worth just a few hundred. I feel like I've been completely steeped in the stench of poverty, purpose, boredom, I suppose. What's the point of lying around counting my billions every day? It's so much fun to watch someone fall for the penniless version of me and give their all for the poor little thing I'm pretending to be. I was dumbfounded. How much? He said. How much? Thousands, billions, a family fortune. 5. Out of my way, I'm crazy about him. 6. From that day on, I plunged headfirst into the whirlpool named Zhou Hu, with a love-struck mind as my oar. I sail freely. He's hungry, so I cook. He's cold, so I fetch him a coat. He said he was tired of working the pork stall, so I sent him home to game and topped up his account with 648 from our butchering earnings. On his birthday, I spent all my savings and even sold my blood to buy a gemstone earring as a gift for him. He cradled my bruised arm, tears falling one after another. Lin Chu, why are you so good to me? Why else for your vast fortune? Of course, I lowered my head shyly, not daring to look at him, and stammered, unable to give a proper answer. He didn't press the matter further. Instead, he took my hand and said, Lin Chu, I like you, will you be my girlfriend? I buried my face deeper, not letting him see the grin that was about to split my cheeks. A fortune of billions, here I come, my 3-year long romance with the young master, who was pretending to be poor. During that time, I worked like a beast of burden, serving him as if he were an emperor. I just hope that when he gets tired of playing around, he'll toss me a hefty breakup settlement. Now, he had finally grown tired of it, but they didn't want to pay me a single cent. Instead, they wanted to seamlessly hand me off to the next person. I'm absolutely furious. These stingy rich people. 7. The next day, I woke up and went to set up my stall. For the first time in 3 years, I didn't leave him breakfast or a goodbye kiss. I had just arrived at the stall when he sent a voice message. His voice was groggy and hoarse, a clear sign he wasn't fully awake yet. Baby, how come there was no good morning kiss today? I can't sleep soundly without your kiss. If you can't sleep soundly, just get up and get to work. You eat my food, sleep in my place every day, and still don't want to pay up. How can you even sleep at night? I ignored him and kept weighing pork for the customer. By 2 in the afternoon, the last of the meat was sold, so I packed up and headed home. A Maybach brushed past me, uncomfortably close. I felt a burning sting on the outside of my thigh. Must have been a scrape. The luxury car stopped, and a man in a sharp suit stepped out, with a prominent nose bridge and deep-set eyes. He looked like he had foreign ancestry. He shot me a condescending glance and casually said, "Get in the car. I'll take you to the hospital for a checkup." I shifted my leg, gave it a test, and figured I was fine, so I declined, but he handed me a business card instead. Add me, you can reach out anytime you need anything. I was deeply moved. He's actually quite a nice guy. Looks like not every rich guy has a taste as twisted as Zhou Hui's. I took the business card, and at a glance, I saw the name on it, Lu Jinxiu Jin. The chat logs I stumbled upon last night flashed through my mind. The faint spark of liking instantly plummeted into negative territory. All right, a deafening crack in the sky, and young Master Jean makes his dazzling debut. Then don't blame movie queen Lin for putting on a show right here and now. I reached out and tugged at the hem of his shirt, my eyes brimming with tears as I looked at him, gathering my courage as if it were a great effort. Or you can just hand me the money for the medicine. I spent the whole night reflecting on myself yesterday. I never should have played up that hopelessly love-struck persona. I overdid it so much that Zhou Hu thought I loved him so deeply I couldn't be swayed by money. So this time, I decided to cut straight to the chase and ask for the money. You'd think I could finally get some wealth, right? Sure enough, Lu Jinxiu gave a teasing smile and agreed. Sure. He grabbed my phone, added me as a friend without permission, then sent over a 100,000 yuan transfer, 100,000 for a kiss from a beauty. Hardly a bad deal, right? What a frivolous flirt. No wonder they're in the same circle as Zhou Hu. One has appalling manners, the other is downright unorthodox and unpredictable. Seeing the money transfer in the chat window, my voice trembled with excitement. No, I have a boyfriend, MMMPH. My eyes widened in shock. Lu Jinxiu didn't even wait for me to finish speaking before he leaned in and kissed me. His kiss, much like the man himself, seemed casual on the surface but was fiercely aggressive at its core. The moment our lips met, he invaded my mouth, plundering and conquering with reckless abandon. What else could I do? I could only stiffen up and endure his kissing technique for a few minutes before shoving him away in a fluster and running off. Of course, I didn't forget to accept the payment. In the following days, Lu Jinxiu would pull up to my stall in a different luxury car each time. He bought up all the pork with a single wave of his hand, then he invited me to go out with him. I turned them down every time. Nah, I've got to head home and cook for my boyfriend, or he'll go hungry. Not only that, but I secretly hiked the pork price from 20 to 50 yuan per Jean. He's not reading it anyway. Every little bit helps. Finally, when he came to see me once more, I said yes, as if surprised by the different answer today. His expression was briefly clouded with confusion. I smiled shyly. I've made a bit of money lately and wanted to buy a gift for my boyfriend. Lu Jinxiu gritted his teeth and muttered bitterly, "Fine, I'll go with you." He took me to the most luxurious shopping mall. I couldn't resist touching the bag as soon as I saw it. My boyfriend said he'd buy me this once we're richer. Lu Jinxiu, wrap it up, please. Seeing the little black dress, I couldn't hide my longing. My boyfriend said he'll buy this for me too when he has the money. Lu Jinxiu, wrap it up. I froze at the sight of the pearl necklace. My boyfriend, Lu Jinxiu, cut me off. Wrap up this pearl set and that gold one. He shoved me into the nearby fitting room and fiercely silenced me with a kiss. After a long kiss, he finally gasped and said, Lin Chu, your boyfriend can't offer you anything. Why do you like him so much? Will you just like me? I've got plenty of money. I can buy you anything. I won't keep tricking you with empty promises year after year. He gazed at me with a heavy look, his eyes brimming with deep affection. Any girl would drown in eyes like those. Too bad I'm the reigning queen of Lin University. For the past 3 years, I've practiced in front of the mirror every day, then looked at Zhou Hu with the same gaze. I'm long past being affected by it. Besides, what makes him think he's any different from Zhou Hu? Not all of you are bastards who just want to toy with me. My eyes slowly grew red, tears clinging to my lashes without quite falling, making me the very picture of pitiful charm. Lu Jinxiu, why do you have to tempt me to cheat? I really like my boyfriend. He reached up to gently wipe away my tears, his eyes filled with tender concern, because he's not good enough for you. My tears fell even harder, streaming down in torrents, unstoppable. He's just poor, a bit lazy sometimes, and a little picky with his food. Come to think of it, Zhou Hu is nothing but flaws. I quickly changed the subject, but his feelings for me are genuine, and that's enough. I don't ask for much, just a little sincerity is all I need. Lu Jinxiu wanted to say something, but stopped himself in the end. He simply leaned down and held me, patting my back as if soothing a child in his arms. My sobs gradually faded, and I opened my mouth in a hoarse voice. Lu Jinxiu, can you be my good friend, the kind that just sends me money for no reason? There was a long silence before Lu Jinxiu finally spoke. I can't anymore, Lin Chu, because I've fallen for you. 9 and beep, incorrect. You will lose the favor of the great actress. Lin, I struggled free from his embrace and turned my head away. Then let's not stay in touch from now on, so my boyfriend won't get the wrong idea. After all, I'm definitely not leaving him. With that, I hurried out of the cramped changing room. No point in rushing. I still need to tell the sales assistant to have all the stuff I just bought delivered to my place before Lu Jinxiu sees it. I wandered around a bit and bought Zhou Hu a few pairs of socks. I just took a taxi home. The moment he stepped inside, Zhou Hu stood frozen, his face ashen as he stared at the mountain of packaging piled on the floor. There were a few plates of stir-fried dishes on the table, but they looked so unappetizing that they hardly made you want to eat. For the first time ever, the crown prince actually cooked today. Seeing me return, he pointed at the pile of things and asked, Lin Chu, what is this? I glanced up and said indifferently, a gift from a friend. He seemed absolutely furious, firing off at me like a machine gun. Do you have any idea what time it is? I've been waiting at home to have dinner with you, and here you are, shopping with some rich person. Until you lost track of time. Are you leaving me because I'm poor? This friend is a guy, isn't he, spending all that money to win you over? His intentions are as clear as day. Do you want to leave me for him? That's right, exactly. Isn't that what you wanted? What are you playing the rendezvous dalong for now? As if insulted, I suddenly snapped and threw my sock at him. I didn't. I was going to buy you a gift today. That friend was just with me. Startled by my shout, Zhou Hu picked up the sock and stroked it tenderly. His voice dropped, and he awkwardly changed the subject. Knew you couldn't live without me. I cooked today. Come and have some. I walked past him and headed to the bedroom, looking utterly exhausted. No, thanks, I'm not hungry. Lu Jinxiu took me to a rooftop restaurant today, and I'm absolutely stuffed. I can't eat anything at all now. Evening. I was still lying there with my back to Zhou Hu. He fiddled with his phone on the other side for ages, typing away furiously. Finally, he turned off the screen, then rolled over and pulled me into his arms. Baby, you've been so distant with me lately. Give me the 5 million, and I promise I'll be all over you. Couldn't be bothered with him. I pretended to be asleep. After a long while, he whispered, It's okay, I forgive you. Someone must have led you astray, but it won't happen again. Who asked for your forgiveness? He really thinks he's the king of the world. TCH 10. I thought what Zhou Hu said was about Lu Jinxiu. They must have reached an agreement and called off that ridiculous mission. To my surprise, Lu Jinxiu showed up at my stall again the very next day, intent on buying all my pork. This time, I refused. All I want is to stick to my trade, butchering pigs and earning an honest living. I'm done humoring them. Lu Jinxiu, I thought I made myself perfectly clear, we shouldn't see each other anymore, my boyfriend doesn't like it. He didn't answer, nor did he leave. Stubbornly remaining in front of the stall, his tall figure was completely out of place in the noisy, chaotic market, drawing glances from everyone who passed by, curiously delving into the tangled feelings between the handsome mixed-race guy and me, the pork-selling beauty. I remained unfazed, calmly selling pork, comparing your depth of feeling to mine. The great empress of cinema Lin, you're on the wrong track. I stood there all day, and he only left after I packed up my stall. Neither of us said a word. Back home, Zhou Heyu had prepared dinner as usual, and this time I didn't refuse. At the dinner table, he suddenly pulled out a thick stack of cash. Baby, I recently got a job and made some money, it's all yours. My mood instantly changed from gloomy to bright. With his line of work, I bet he just has to make a call and someone will have the money ready and delivered right to his door, but I don't mind. 3 years have passed. After serving the crown prince for 3 whole years, I'm finally seeing some return on my investment. Suppressing my excitement, I skillfully maintained my love-struck persona. With so much money, your work must be really tough. It's fine, I'm okay. It doesn't matter if there's no money. If you're tired, you don't have to do it. He slid the money toward me, like a puppy seeking praise. It's no trouble, I'll earn more and more money in the future, so we can live a good life together. After a pause, he continued somewhat sheepishly, you won't need anyone else to buy you gifts anymore. Whatever you want, I'll get it for you. Dream on. What? Later, once I've made enough money, I'll kick your low-class scumbag right out. That night, he pestered me for some quality time. Considering he's the one bringing home the bacon, I granted his request to share my bed. After all, I personally trained him in the art of pleasing. It's a win-win situation. 11. The next day, I went to work at my stall feeling refreshed and energized. Lu Jinxiu didn't come, with such little patience. You still want to pretend to be devoted, not even a tenth of how hard I used to chase. After Zhou Heyu, business was inexplicably good today. It was just past noon, and all the meat was already sold out. I was just about to pack up and head home when I received a message from Lu Jinxiu. Lin Chu, I'm not feeling well. Could you come see me? I snorted. Got sick after just 1 day at the market. Prince P. Seeing I didn't reply, the second message came right after. It was a transfer. 1 million. Please, you have to come see me, or I'll die. Well, your miserable life sure comes cheap. Only worth 1 million, but what can I say? I'm a model citizen with all the virtues. For the sake of the money, I'll grudgingly go take care of you. I accepted the payment and asked him for the address. I'm doing this for the money to get my boyfriend a new computer, not because I care about you. He ignored the first message, simply sent his location and said, I'll be waiting. Following the navigation, I took a taxi to Lu Jinxiu's house. He actually lives in a riverside villa, living in such a big house alone. Aren't you afraid of ghosts? Lu Jinxiu stood in the living room, his face flushed, greeting me. When he saw me, he managed a weak smile. I stood before him and asked, Are you really sick? He leaned down, grabbed my hand and pressed it against his forehead. Seriously, you've got a fever, your whole body's burning up. I touched it and wow, it's probably around 39 degrees. Luckily, I'd picked up some common medicine on the way here. I dug out some fever reducers, got him to take them, then told him to go to sleep, but he stubbornly clung to me, refusing to let go. No, I'm starving. Could you make me some porridge? Well, you certainly take good care of yourself, don't you? You know to get medicine when you have a fever, and you know to eat when you're hungry. Just what you'd expect from a rich family's young master, so good at ordering people around. I didn't make a sound, and he held me even tighter, trapping me like a blazing furnace, drawling her words, as if pouting for attention. You cook for your boyfriend so many times, can't you just make me some porridge? Does that even sound reasonable to you? You know perfectly well he's my boyfriend. What gives you, some random guy, the right to compete with him? What standing do you even have? I closed my eyes for a moment. I repeated 1 million several times in my head before barely managing to suppress my anger. I ruffled his hair like petting a dog, then agreed. All right, let go now. I'll make it for you. After helping him finish his porridge, I finally managed to get him into bed. He asked me to tell him a bedtime story again. Have you ever told one to a boyfriend? No, after all, I'm dating an adult, not a kindergarten kid. He got even more worked up and insisted I tell him, refusing to sleep until I did. 1 million, 1 million, 1 million. I gave in to his bull-like stare and started telling some random story I'd pulled up about Snow White fighting the dwarfs. As I was talking, I ended up dozing off, leaning over the edge of the bed, in a daze. I felt Lu Jingxiu scoop me up in a princess carry and gently lay me on the bed. I found a comfortable position and drifted off to sleep peacefully. I was awakened by the sound of an argument coming from outside the door. 12. Zhou Hu waited at home for me for a long time, but I never returned. My calls were being hung up on me. 2. His unease grew with every passing moment, almost without thinking. He drove straight to Lu Jingxiu's house. The moment he stepped inside, he confronted Lu Jingxiu. "Where is Lin Chu?" Lu Jingxiu resumed his haughty demeanor and gave a malicious smile. "She's asleep in my bed." Zhou Hu was absolutely furious. He shoved Lu Jingxiu hard. "I told you to abort the mission. Why are you still looking for her? I've decided to make a life with her. Are you trying to be the other woman?" Lu Jingxiu was unfazed and asked softly in return, "How do you live well? Should she keep pretending to be broke? Working sunrise to sunset selling pork just to support you? How dare he claim to love her when he won't even spend a single penny on his girlfriend despite being the heir to a multi-billion-dollar empire?" He let out a scornful laugh. "Lin Chu has been working so hard, it really breaks my heart. You don't know how to love someone, so let me take care of her for you." Zhou Hu was speechless from the rebuke, and upon hearing this, his anger flared even more, lunging at Lu Jingxiu and grappling with him. "Shut up, you shameless homewrecker, seducing another man's wife. You've done every vile thing imaginable." The two were locked in a fierce and heated battle. I was hiding inside, watching with my heart racing. "All right, one more punch." I got so carried away that I accidentally pushed the door open. Both men turned their heads to look at me in unison. I stood barefoot on the floor, my face deathly pale, swaying as if under an unbearable weight. 2 lines of tears suddenly streamed down my cheeks as I stared directly at Zhou Hu. "Mission: play poor. You pretended to be poor to date me, and now that you're bored, you're teaming up with Lu Jingxiu to make me cheat." 3 years of honed acting skills erupt in this moment, and I shatter now like a white lotus upon the snow-capped peak. Zhou Hu and Lu Jingxiu were both stunned, standing frozen on the spot. "So your identity was a lie, your confession was a lie, every single day we spent together was a lie, all of it was just a game you played on a whim. Now you're bored and want to dump me, so you posted this so-called mission." I was fully in the moment now, tears falling like a broken string of pearls. "But I don't understand. If you wanted to break up, you could have just told me. No matter how much I liked you, I wouldn't have clung to you. Why choose this way, to make me bear the shame of being a cheater? Do you hate me that much? Hate me enough to want to ruin me? What am I to you? Some kind of clown you can just push around? What do love-struck people and die-hard romantics have in common? It is love. There is no love in my heart now, only the joy of nearing the end of filming, so I'm the undisputed champion." After a few pointed questions, Zhou Hu was completely stunned. He opened his mouth to defend himself, but was dismayed to realize everything I said was true. He had no defense left. Seeing this, my performance was drawing to a close. "Zhou Hu, I'll let you have your way." Into his wide, terrified eyes, I said slowly, each word deliberate, "Let's break up. You're free now. I've managed to scrape together around 2 million recently. That's enough, finally. I don't have to play along with these 2 spoiled brats anymore." But Zhou Hu stepped forward, grabbing my arm and sobbing, "No, I won't break up. I won't break up." I pushed him away, sounding faint and weary, as if I were utterly exhausted. "Zhou Hu, I never want to see you again. Just leave me alone." With that, I turned and headed for the main entrance, casting one more glance at Lu Jingxiu as I passed by. I couldn't even make sense of the emotion in that look, but Lu Jingxiu took a step back under my gaze, as if terrified. 13. I walked out of the villa district, wiped away my tears, and prepared to take a taxi home, but Lu Jingxiu chased after me. His car was parked nearby, and he got out, asking softly, "Let me drive you home." Thinking I could save 100 yuan or so, I got straight into the passenger seat. We didn't say another word the whole way, but once we got to the neighborhood, Lu Jingxiu locked the car doors and wouldn't let me get out. "Lin Chu, can we talk?" I let out a cold laugh. "Talk about what?" "About how you and Zhou Hui planned to fool me." "Lu Jingxiu, what were you thinking when you took this job? Did your boring little life at the top finally need some entertainment?" "No," he said urgently. "No, that's not it. I was thinking," seemingly aware that his vile little thoughts were too shameful to say out loud. He said with difficulty, "Great, now I can finally get close to you openly." I was completely stunned. Wow, what a surprise bonus at last. the secret thoughts in his heart saw the light of day, and Lu Jinxiu simply said everything. Zhou Heyu often showed off in the group chat, bragging about how good you were to him and how much you spoiled him even when he acted like he had nothing and was lazy and good for nothing. You still loved him without hesitation, and I just thought, why, the more he said, the smoother it came, and he didn't hide his jealousy at all. Why does he get everything? His parents love each other, he doesn't have to fight a bunch of messy illegitimate kids for the family fortune, he grew up with everything going his way, and even when he's dating someone, his girlfriend caters to him every step of the way. Haha, that's hilarious. I thought it was some unbelievably touching brotherly bond, turns out it was all just fake, but you don't need to be jealous, because the clingy girlfriend Zhou Heyu talked about never even existed. It was all an act on my part, just in it for the money, hee, so I secretly watched you every day all bright and energetic, slaughtering pigs to make money, always smiling at every customer, like a little son that never got tired. Isn't that obvious? If you're not smiling when you're doing business, then who's going to buy anything from you when you're standing there with that sour face? He didn't understand such a down-to-earth truth, and just kept getting lost in his rosy memories. I also follow your short video account. You often show off your relationship with Zhou Heyu on there, wiping the sweat off his face and buying him expensive fruit even though you clearly hate spending money. I thought it over carefully, and yeah, I guess that really did happen. Zhou Heyu was a beautiful deadweight, he only got in the way at the stall. Still, that face of his was very popular, so I used him to draw in traffic for a while. The results were pretty good, a lot of CP fans came by because of him, and my name as the pork beauty took off overnight. The longer I looked, the harder it became to look away from you, and then one day, I thought, why can't that person be me? Lu Jinxiu let out a nervous chuckle, so when he posted the task in the group chat that day, I was absolutely over the moon. Perfect, I could finally snag you for myself. 666. While others watch videos wanting to buy pork, Jin Shao watches videos wanting to marry me. We've both received 9 years of compulsory education, so why can't I be as lowbrow as they are? Otherwise, why would I have been a doormat for 3 years just for that pitiful breakup fee? After pouring out his heart, Lu Jinxiu mustered the courage to look at me, his eyes no longer carrying the arrogance he had when we first met, now resembling a humble dog begging for love. Be with me, Lin Chu, I'm rich and generous, I'll give you anything you want, I murmured. How generous? He quickly pulled out his phone, tapped a few times, and the next second, a text message notified me of a 1 million deposit into my bank account. My heart was bursting with joy, another tidy sum in the bag. Yet, with a bitter smile, she turned the tables. Is this how you choose to insult me? Zhou Heyu is clearly wealthy, yet he treats me as worthless, and you think I'm some gold digger who can be bought off with a few trinkets, he flusteredly explained. No, that's not it, I didn't mean that. Of course I know he didn't, but what can I say? I'm done being a simp. A balance in the millions is more than enough for me to live comfortably for the rest of my life. Love, not even a dog would date him. Besides, what he likes is just the character I was playing. It's not so much that he likes me, but rather the fool in his fantasy who's willing to sacrifice everything for love. If I really got together with him and he found out a few years later that I'm not who he imagined, who knows what he might do to me? The lesson from Zhou Heyu's mistake is still fresh in my mind. I'm not going to be a fool. So I let out a sigh and said, utterly exhausted, Lu Jinxiu, just let me go. After a tense standoff, he finally unlocked the car door. I yanked open the car door and walked away without looking back. 14. Back home, I immediately dug out all the gifts Lu Jinxiu had bought for me earlier, take photos one by one and list them on second-hand websites. Finally, I can cash out. Nothing beats cold, hard cash. After counting all those zeros on my bank card, I fell asleep hugging my phone, totally content. The next day, I dug out the stack of cash Zhou Heyu had given me and got ready to deposit it at the bank. As soon as I opened the door, my eyes met Zhou Heyu's, who was standing outside. He was carrying a huge box and his eyes welled up the moment he saw me. Baby, I said flatly, don't call me that, we broke up. He squeezed through the door, reaching for me, but froze under my icy stare. He sniffed and said, I'm here to apologize. I'm sorry, baby. I crossed my arms and stayed silent. He took my silence as a sign of hope and spilled everything at once. I was indeed pretending to be broke back then. People like us are just too rich, and all those women rushing in have ulterior motives. My buddy once fell head over heels in love, even turning against his friends for that woman, who would have thought she was just using him as an ATM. All right, we get it. you're loaded, keep going and I'll start resenting the rich. Oblivious to my subtle eye roll, he just kept talking, so I thought, I want to see if someone could like me for who I am, not for my money, and then I met you. You never cared that I was poor, you gave me your whole heart, treated me with such kindness, and stood by me no matter what. I just can't help but show you off to everyone. I want the whole world to know I have the most amazing girlfriend. It's not that I'm bored, I just wanted to show off that I have a partner no one can take away. But I ended up ruining everything. I couldn't help but get teary-eyed. No matter what I may have felt deep down, the effort I put in over these past 3 years was real and undeniable. A gentleman judges by actions, not intentions. For 3 years, over 1,000 days, I've taken care of him, soothed him, and within the limits of my ability, made him feel at ease. We used to take evening strolls together, go grocery shopping hand in hand, and huddle around a single electric heater for warmth on days when we couldn't bear to turn on the air conditioner. We shared 3 deeply loving years, and we could have parted with grace, but for the sake of his vanity, he passed me from hand to hand like a piece of merchandise, and drained away every last bit of the bond between us. I blinked back my tears. Johayu, however, burst into loud sobs, crying all the while. He opened the case to reveal a dazzling pile of cash. I'm sorry, baby, I'm rich, I'll give you all my money from now on, I'll give you a good life. Please forgive me. Okay, my urge to cry vanished instantly, replaced in my eyes by nothing but a thirst for money. That's a lot of money. If only it were all mine. What a shame. I have to stay in character, so I can't take it. Ugh. With great difficulty, I tore my gaze away from the money and looked Johayu straight in the eye. His eyes are beautiful, round with slightly drooping outer corners, resembling a puppy's, especially when he cries, but my heart is as hard as iron, impervious to all poisons. I don't need that much. Just give me 65,000. Johayu was taken aback, not understanding what this number meant. I took out my calculator, kindly offering to clear up his confusion. You lived in my home for 3 years, the conditions weren't great, but I gave you a roof over your head, and I never let you go hungry. 3 years, 36 months, at 1,500 yuan a month for food and lodging, that comes to 54,000 yuan, over these years. I've also bought you gifts from time to time and had you spend money topping up games, which adds up to a little over 10,000 yuan, together, that comes to 65,000 yuan. I didn't keep the receipts for those gifts, so if you don't want to acknowledge them, that's fine, you can just pay me for room and board. With that, I looked at Johayu, waiting for his reaction. He was completely stunned, standing there at a loss, not knowing what to say. I admit, seeming to have a bad premonition, he hastily added, and it's not just this, all this money is for you. Once I inherit the family business, all my money will be yours too. I ignored him and squatted down to count the money by myself. My heart bled with every bill I counted. Ugh, so much money, and none of it is mine. I can only take a tiny fraction. Damn you, Johayu, you're not sincere at all. I counted out 6 stacks of 10,000, then pulled out another 5,000. Standing up, I placed the money on the coffee table and said to Johayu, we're even now, you can go. Johayu couldn't hold back any longer and rushed forward to embrace me. We're not even close to being square, we can't be square. I like you, baby, I love you, I can't live without you. I let him hold me, not moving at all. Only after he had calmed down a little did he speak. Love, feelings built on lies don't deserve to be called love. Johayu shook his head frantically. No, I mean it. I gave a slight smile and asked him, do you remember the earring I gave you for your first birthday? That earring cost me all my savings. I even sold blood once to afford it, just because I saw a screenshot of the official website on your phone and knew you wanted it. But Johayu, where is that earring now? He went rigid all over, let go of me, and started frantically searching the room. It was right here, I'm sure of it. How could it have disappeared? I watched his movements in silence, then managed a grim smile. It's as if this heartless, ungrateful man has broken my heart. Our relationship was like that earring, it had already vanished long ago. Johayu froze, hunched over and crouching in front of the cabinet. After hearing what I said, he covered his face with both hands and cried silently. At that moment, he knew he had lost me for good. Before he pushed the door open and left, he said to me without turning around, Lu Jinshu is a womanizer, he's been with countless women, don't say yes to him. What a fake brotherhood. He couldn't leave without stabbing his brother in the back twice. That was so touching. 15. After turning down those two, I finally had a stretch of peace and quiet. Johayu and Lu Jinshu were locked in a fierce, no-holds-barred battle in the business world. creating utter chaos and completely disregarding their family's long-standing friendship, but none of that had anything to do with me. In my spare time, I was looking at properties. This place is just too rundown. Now that I have the money, I want to find a better place to live. Let's enjoy ourselves too. One evening, while I was chatting with the agent at home, there was a knock at the door. As soon as the door opened, Jo Hyu stumbled in, completely drunk, clinging to my thigh. He refused to let go. Choo-choo, baby, wife, I miss you so much. I gave it a hard shake, but it wouldn't budge. He clicked his tongue in irritation. When was this ever going to end? I couldn't hold back and snapped sarcastically, why are you acting like a mangy stray? At those words, Jo Hyu didn't get angry. Instead, he took off his coat and reached into the front of his chest to grab something. He tilted his head back as hard as he could, revealing the collar around his neck. It was a choker with a bell tied to it, and it jingled at the slightest tug. Only then did I finally see what he was holding out in front of me. A thin chain extended from the center of the collar beneath his Adam's apple to right in front of me, like a dog leash. He flashed a goofy grin. I'm the baby's dog, woof woof. His fluffy head rubbed against the inside of my thigh as he pleaded incoherently, please don't abandon me, okay? I'll be good. Do you really think this little thing can test a fierce woman like me? He succeeded. I yanked the leash, pulling him onto the bed. As he excitedly thrust his hips, I slapped him. The master hasn't given permission yet. How dare the puppy move on his own? He froze instantly, his face flushing deep red, a few muffled moans escaping his lips. Taking control feels amazing. You get to set the pace and direction. I had a really good time toying with him that whole night. The next morning, as soon as I opened my eyes, I was met with Jo Hyu's goofy grin. Awake, baby, what do you want to eat? I'll have someone bring it over. I didn't respond, got up, dressed myself, and gave him the boot. I'll go out to eat later, you can leave now. He looked utterly stunned, as if he hadn't heard right. Me, leave? I nodded absent-mindedly. What, did you think you were gonna have breakfast at my place too? His voice trembled. You. Then what does this make us? I laughed. A one-night stand, obviously. What else could it be? Two consenting adults satisfying a need. You're not expecting me to be responsible, are you? Let me be perfectly clear, not a chance. I shoved the door open without mercy and gestured for him to come in. After you, Your Highness. Jo Hyu dressed himself in a daze, then trudged out with heavy steps. Just before heading out, he turned back and shouted, feel free to call on me anytime you need, master. A loyal little dog is always at your service. Woof woof woof. With that said, they ran off, their face burning bright red. All that was left was me, standing there, gritting my teeth in frustration. I'm so furious. Are you trying to embarrass me completely? Does it make me look good for others to know I keep a dog like this? That bad dog. 16. Jo Hyu had barely left in the morning when Lu Jinxue showed up in the afternoon. I had just packed up my stall and was about to go find some fun. He stopped me and asked with restrained politeness, going home? Let me give you a ride. I answered honestly, not going home, planning to hit a bar. Back when I was broke, I used to daydream about hiring a model to see what it's like once I made it. Today's the day to make that old dream come true. Lu Jinxue's breath hitched. He pressed his lips together and said, okay, seriously, that works. My inner demons got the better of me, and I couldn't resist pushing my luck. Just a gift, a rich guy like you, young Master Jean. And you won't even treat me? He nodded. All right, I'll cover all the expenses today. In that case, I won't hold back. Once we got to the booth, I ordered 20 models in one go. Leaning against them as they fed me drinks, Lu Jinxue sat at the other end of the sofa, his face growing darker by the second, yet he had no right to stop me. Watching his expression, I felt nothing but smug satisfaction. Spending someone else's money just feels great, even though he may seem like a good guy. He has no heart and only has eyes for money. Seeing I was generous with the drinks, they kept pouring for me non-stop. I had a few drinks and was starting to feel a bit drunk, with my head spinning. I want to leave. All this glitz and glamour is just SOSO, not really worth it. Just as I was wondering when to make my exit, Lu Jinxue stood up. He peeled off the clingy guy stuck to me, supported me, and said hoarsely, you're drunk, let's go. Perfect, just what I had in mind. I was sobering up in the passenger seat and accidentally fell asleep. When I woke up again, I found myself being carried in Lu Jinxue's arms and gently laid on the bed. The room looked familiar. It was his place. I kept my eyes closed, feigning sleep, and felt him lean down, coming very close to me. His breath brushed against my face. Is he going to try to kiss me? That won't do. I have to stop this. My head was muddled, and I came up with a lousy idea. Jo Hyu, I murmured. Any man would lose his nerve hearing his romantic rival's name in his own bed. Lu Jinxiu was the same, I could even hear his breathing grow a little heavier, as if he was furious. Unexpectedly, in just a few breaths, he had composed himself again, answered hoarsely, "It's me, what, seriously, bro, and you can even put up with that, that's why people from super wealthy families are always so prone to falling hard for someone, this is seriously next level." After breaking through the first psychological barrier, Lu Jinxiu's bottom line dropped lower and lower. Seemingly having found a good excuse for himself, he repeated, "I'm Zhou Heyu." He then kissed me hard on the lips. My mind was completely turned to mush by him. What on earth is this supposed to be? Open the door, sis-in-law, it's your brother-in-law. Fine, if you're going to be that shameless, then I might as well not let the chance go to waste. Under Lu Jinxiu's relentless kisses and tongue, I lifted my arm in a daze and wrapped it around the back of his neck. He froze, his breathing suddenly growing heavy. His hands also slipped beneath me, giving me an unforgettable night unlike any other. 17 I lay in bed, playing dead. Now I'm regretting it. It was comfortable, very comfortable, a completely different feeling from being with Zhou Heyu. It's basically the difference between 9 shallow, 1 deep and 9 deep, 1 shallow, but I shouldn't have touched him. Wine and women can really ruin a person. After I'd recovered a bit of strength, I quietly got out of bed, got dressed, and prepared to slip away. Just as I was tiptoeing out, Lu Jinxiu's voice came from behind me. "Where are you going?" I jumped in fright. A wicked idea struck me, and I decided to strike first. "Yesterday was just an accident. I mistook you for Zhou Heyu." The color drained from his face all at once, his lowered lashes trembled faintly, and after a long pause, he finally forced out, I'm willing." When people are speechless, they're really speechless. "Bro, you've completely abandoned all shame now, haven't you?" Too annoyed to deal with him, I put on my clothes and was about to leave. He followed silently behind me, and before I could leave, he spoke, "If you want it next time, you can still come to me. I'll definitely be better than Zhou Heyu." Me, "Please, young Master Lu, stop trying to out-alpha each other. I'm scared." 18 Dragging my exhausted body home, I found several men in black surrounding my front door. A graceful, middle-aged lady surrounded by a small entourage smiled at me. "Ms. Lin, I'm Zhou Heyu's mother. Do you mind if we talk for a moment?" I instantly broke into a smile. Of course. 3 years, so this is the part where someone offers me $1 million and tells me to leave their son. Mrs. Zhou froze for a moment, then followed me inside. She glanced around the cramped little house, her expression softening with emotion. After sitting down, she said to me, "Miss Lin, thank you for taking care of my son over the past 3 years." I rubbed my hands together. "Oh, you're too kind, too kind. So, just a verbal thank you. No monetary appreciation," the lady went on. "Please excuse the intrusion. The main reason I came today is that my son and Xiaolu have been at odds, and it's already seriously affected the relationship and business between our two families. I believe the one who tied the knot must be the one to untie it, so I've come to bother you in person." Xiaolu, "Oh, Lu Jinxiu, but what does this have to do with me?" Seeing the puzzled look on my face, the elegant lady spoke up just in time. "The idea from both our families is that, if you're willing, you can choose either of them to be with. Once everything settles down, I'm sure the other one will back off. This is not how the plot is supposed to go, so my humble butcher girl self just landed a ticket into high society this easily, but I don't want to." The lady saw right through my refusal. With a sigh, she produced another check. "If you're not comfortable with it, here's a check for 5 million, enough to live well anywhere in the world. I hope you take some time away, get some distance, and let their feelings cool down." 5 million, the 5 million I'd been dreaming of. Suppressing the smile tugging at the corners of my mouth, I gave a cool nod, looking thoroughly annoyed. "Sure, I'll take your advice." After seeing the lady off, I let out a silent scream and started counting the money. The suitcase full of cash Zhou Heyu brought last time, he still insisted on keeping it. That was about 3 million, plus the 2 million from before. And this 5 million, I'm a multi-millionaire now. Pack your bags, set off, and travel the world. 19 Spend over 3 months traveling abroad, couldn't get used to Western food, so I returned home in defeat. I've landed in a small southern town, planning to settle here for a while. Walking home with a bag of fruit, I saw a tall guy ahead. Looking up at the building, my curiosity got the better of me. I wondered which room housed his in Hong. For some reason, my heart beat faster the closer I got. Trusting my gut, I turned on my heel and Decided to get a hotel room for the night. I never expected to run straight into someone's arms. It was Jo Hyu. He held me tight, his voice a little thick with emotion. The puppy caught you, you bad owner. Me, you just can't stop comparing yourself to a dog. Can you? Lu Jinsho finally stopped standing there like a lovesick fool and pulled me away from his embrace from behind. Jo Hyu glared. What are you doing? Looking for another fight. Taking the fruit from my hand. Lu Jinsho interlaced his fingers with mine. Whatever, if you want to back out and keep fighting, I'm always ready. Jo Hyu shot him a resentful glance, then grabbed my other hand and clutched it tightly, muttering indistinctly, "Shameless mistress." I was dragged along by two people in a complete daze. The three of us formed a concave shape, standing at the entrance to the building. What's going on? Did an asteroid hit Earth while I wasn't looking? Did the world just reboot? Noticing my confusion, Lu Jinsho smiled, looking very pleased, and explained, "We've buried the hatchet and decided to compete fairly." Jo Hyu didn't say a word, only tightened his grip on my hand. "Compete my ass." I yanked myself free from the two big hands with all my strength and shouted, "I don't like either of you." At this point, I decided to just stop pretending. Honestly, I only love money. I was stringing you both along for the money, and I left once I'd gotten enough. Neither of them showed much expression, and I couldn't read them. Carefully, I tried to save face, but all that money before was given to me willingly by you. I neither stole nor robbed anyone, so there's no way you're getting it back. Looking left and right, I gave in. Fine, I can give you a little bit back. The air fell silent for a moment before Jo Hyu let out a snort of laughter. "Baby, I'm super rich, worth at least 100 billion. Be with me, and I guarantee you'll be counting money every day till your fingers go numb." Lu Jinsho refused to be outdone. What's the point of being rich if you won't spend it on someone? Lin Chu, I'm very generous. Marry me, and you can share everything I have. Jo Hyu snapped at him. Don't twist my words. What do you mean, marry? We're not there yet. He got worked up as he spoke. Honey, I knew you first. If you're thinking about marriage, you have to marry me first. Is there even an order to these things? Get a grip. He made me so mad I felt dizzy. Staying in fight mode is exhausting. Lately I've been living the lying flat life, just mooching off my savings. My fitness isn't what it used to be. After too much indulgence, I've gained a lot of weight and even got a little belly. Plus, I just finished eating, so I'm a bit full. I couldn't help but put a hand to my waist, seeing what I did. Jo Hyu froze for a moment, then an overwhelming look of delight lit up his eyes. He stepped forward, looking flustered and helpless, as if he wanted to touch me but didn't dare. He stammered, "Baby, are you pregnant? Am I going to be a dad?" Then, he suddenly turned his head to look at Lu Jinsho. "My baby is carrying my child. You've lost your chance. Back off." Lu Jinsho gave a calm smile, stepped forward to support my waist, and asked softly, "Was it that night? I remember one time we didn't use protection." Me, "Keep it down. Does that really make you look good?" Jo Hyu, caught off guard. "Did you guys already go to sleep?" He looked like he was about to pass out, shouting furiously at Lu Jinsho. "It must be you who used some underhanded tactics, you despicable, shameless, vile, repulsive mistress."